When I first moved into that small apartment, I was full of dreams, but empty in every other way. No furniture, no steady job, no real friends, just hope. Next door lived an old woman named Mama Grace. She was quiet, always wearing the same faded wrapper and a smile that never seemed to fade. Every morning she would greet me, "Good morning, my son. Have you eaten?" And every morning I would mumble something like, "Yes, Ma," and walk away. Truth is, I barely paid attention to her. She looked poor, and I, in my youthful pride, didn't want to be seen chatting with old people who had nothing going for them. I wanted to mix with successful people, the ones who looked like where I wanted to be, not where I was. One evening, as I was rushing out to meet friends, she stopped me and said, "My son, slow down. Sometimes the things we run toward are not what we truly need." I smiled politely and left. I didn't know those would be the last words she ever said to me. A few weeks later, I returned home to find her door open. People had gathered. The landlord stood by, shaking his head. "Mama Grace is gone," someone said quietly. I froze. Gone? They said she had passed in her sleep, peacefully. The neighbors began cleaning out her things. I stood at her door, unsure why my chest felt heavy. Then the landlord handed me an envelope. "She left this for you," he said. Inside was a small note, written in shaky handwriting. "My son, I saw the hunger in your eyes, not for food, but for life. I prayed for you every night. Don't chase the world so hard that you lose your peace. Remember, true success is when your soul can rest." Alongside the note was a small key. It opened an old wooden box in her room. Inside were 47,000 naira in old notes, a Bible, and a faded photo of her holding a young boy who looked about my age. At the back of the photo it said, "My son, 1998. That was when I realized Mama Grace had lost her only child years ago, and maybe, just maybe, she saw him in me. Tears filled my eyes. I sat in her room for hours, surrounded by silence and regret. All those times she greeted me, asked if I'd eaten, tried to talk. She wasn't being nosy. She was showing love in the only way she knew how. That day I learned something life never teaches gently. Kindness doesn't always wear fancy clothes or drive fine cars. Sometimes it lives next door, waiting for you to notice. Moral: don't ignore the people around you. The ones who seem ordinary may carry the greatest love, wisdom, and lessons your soul needs.